This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenrail radio playlist. zenrailclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Portian Bakery. If you're located in the Portian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Portian Bakery, say what's up to Arvil, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone can podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. All right, shot 1 is done and in the bag for Vish. Mine's next week. Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, all right, let's get into it. So how did it feel? Like, what was the shot like? What was the process like? Like, what was your direct experience with the shot? I'm sure I'll have
it went pretty smooth. The whole process was you show up, you tell them you have an appointment, you fill out a form, and then they scan. And the next step is like where they scan your card. Is this information correct? Like, because they have to email you the stuff or phone you.
Cool. Yeah.
And then and then you're just waiting till they designate you which table to go to, and there's so many there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's pretty smooth. And then the nurses are at the table, so you go to that. They know how many people are coming, so someone brings the needles to them.
Okay.
And then she checks over your form if there's anything that she needs to add to your information.
Yeah.
And then you get the shot.
It's so interesting because
and then you wait 15 minutes after that.
Like at that table, or you go somewhere else?
No. There's a spot, waiting spot, 15-minute waiting spot, and you should go and sit there.
Oh, okay, cool. It reminded me of grade 8. Do you remember doing that in grade 7?
I don't remember.
We had to do these like Hep B shots, and then everyone would get the shot in the freaking
I know about the shots,
library.
but I don't remember the process.
Oh, okay. It was like, it was like line up, and then you go to each booth. Sounds just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
so everything's very spaced oriented, right? Because it has to be.
Oh, COVID. Yeah. Totally.
What do you call it? Distance, right?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. That's it's so interesting that like we haven't changed from that like time. You know, I've been saying like, you're stabbing us with like vaccines. Like that's what's freaking me out. It's like. It's the idea of it. I know there might not be any pain associated with it, but it's just like the idea that you're like ripping through my flesh to like put this medicine in my body. You know, there could have been no other way to do this.
I guess the thing is, this has been like a foolproof science for a long time.
Right. So you're
that they're still like we read about things that they're trying to do,
like the nasal spray,
totally. Or even the pill format, but that takes time to even build. Like does it act like how well does it work? Like
efficacy.
Yeah,
totally. It's funny too because like being somebody who has tattoos, it's like it doesn't really change the fear. You just like learn. Actually, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get the tattoo because I'm so afraid of needles. So I'm like, all right, let's just do this, right? And then like it wasn't that bad, especially with the numbing cream, and like I think it's more like constant exposure to something. You know, because I kept going back. I kept going back, and like, okay, so now for me to get a tattoo is like not that bad. I'm like, okay, whatever. But like, I haven't been constantly exposed to like needles, like injections. Like, there's a difference, right? Like, even though like the pain threshold will be like is way different. Like tattoos will hurt way more. It's still like the idea of it's so creepy. You know, like, I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
But then you look at like UFC fighters and they get like blood tests all the time, all that stuff, you know, because like.
Well, again, it's like the same thing you just said, like continuously. So they're always getting blood tests, and so it just becomes normal. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right.
And no side effects post. You're like totally fine.
For me, no. And everybody else that got it too, along with me, nobody had any side effects other than like just that sore arm, like you worked out in that spot of where you got the needle. But that's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Arvil did like a pop-up And it's so funny. Like it's interesting to hear about like your experience and then like listen to his experience and how streamlined this whole thing is, you know?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like we saw those like videos of those long lineups for pop-ups, right? But I guess they've gotten it down, or maybe that was like the first like bump, and then now it's hit this point where it's like he saw it in a West Rouge group, like a
No,
Facebook
once
group, and
you
he's
once
like,
you have it booked, these
he-
things are run.
no, he didn't book.
No. Let me explain. Like, I understand like that pop up because he's coming at near the end of it or at the beginning.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
yeah.
if they've have this many shots left, then some people will go, right, if they've read that information somewhere, right? And it has been moving smoothly. Like, even though my time was at like 7 o'clock or 7:10 the shot, we were there about like 6:30, and it didn't really matter about the time.
Oh, it doesn't matter about the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we were there at 6:30, and we all just went because everybody else had like around 7:10 to 7:30.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're all kind of together, so we all just
Went as
were
a
able to
group.
go in. Yeah,
Oh,
and it
that's
was
great.
fine. Yeah, yeah. As
Oh,
long as
that's
you have
cool.
the booking for that day, they'll know your name's on the list, right?
Right, totally. Tell me why my palms are sweating right now. Jeez, so freaky. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, Arvel too, he didn't have any side effects. He went straight to work, and like he was like, yeah, my arm was just like a little sore, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then like everyone else who got it too, like no side effects. That's why the wob thing was like weird. Even the theory
Well, I think
about,
there's like
the-
as a small percentage of some people having. Some people do get fever though.
yeah, no, I've totally heard that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like, I guess you
It's
just
a
hope
very
you're not
small
the one.
percentage, I think, that has that.
Yeah, actually, I guess you're just like hoping you're not the one that gets the fever, you know? Yeah. Do you see the thing? I saw it this morning and I was like, oh, that's interesting. They're like, there's some controversy now over the vaccines. Like,
What's that?
well, there's a few controversies. So like they're talking about like the Trudeau summer. So
Okay,
basically what it is like, with this one shot deal, it's moving too slow. That like it's like other provinces like Saskatchewan, they're like, we're not going to follow that. We're just going to give it to as many. Like, we're not going to stretch it. You know, he's like summer, we're going to have one shot, and then fall, it's the two shot.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the idea. And then these provinces are like, no, we're just going to give like as rapidly both shots because we don't want a Trudeau summer. And like the Trudeau summer is like somebody put a caricature or like a cartoon of like people on ventilators and saying that like, because if you don't get both shots, it's like you're not fully protected.
Yeah.
So like you'll get one and then everyone's going to like flock to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I got the shot and I'm fine. And then it's going to spread. Theoretically, we don't know.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, I think you need to get as many people fully vaccinated as soon as possible.
Yeah, totally. And that's what the provinces are feeling.
But so far, I mean, there were scientists saying that it's like one shot does reduce at least hospitalization or something like that.
Oh, okay. So
I
you're
didn't
just
read the
saying
full
it's, like,
article, but it
whatever.
was saying like that there is some good to just like having at least the first shot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense because like I feel like even with the first shot, it's pretty much done. The other one's just like top up protection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the percentage is still not the same, right? Like
No. So
of
top up
protection.
percent. Yeah, like you go from 60 to 90, but like if the death rate was already like,
Is it 60?
I think the first shot's 60%.
Depends on the variant, I guess.
Oh, why? Why?
Because it won't be the same on other variants.
Oh yeah, true. My mom was saying that with they saw that with I think it's like Pfizer, you're okay with the UK variant. Like that one affects
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
so
okay.
you're fine. But like we don't know about the other
Yeah.
shots like the AstraZeneca and the Moderna.
Well, they're not doing the first shot in Ontario anymore with AstraZeneca.
Yeah, that's actually a big shocker. Yeah. It's funny. Like that's another one I read actually, another article about
It's funny.
AstraZeneca.
Justin Trudeau
It's
got all these guys got the.
yeah, and they're ripping on him. They're ripping on him in this article because they're like, he got his like, well, it was like slight digs, and I was like, that's not cool. But like they're like, yeah, him and his Gen X tattooed arm got
Okay.
the AstraZeneca, and then he's like, they led people down the wrong path because like now you have like thousands of people wondering if you made the wrong choice.
Yeah, you see, that's I don't think it's anything like that. It's just
No, that's what the article said.
I know,
It's like
yeah. But I
it's
just
like but when I say article, I don't mean like these are like it's my news app. Yeah, it's my news app. So I follow like
yeah.
Not some bloggers writing this.
No. I understand, but they were just we didn't have vaccines then. It made sense
To just get it.
Yeah.
But like it's funny, like even Trudeau's like saying like, yeah, I spoke to my doctor and he said like I should get the second AstraZeneca shot.
So probably what will happen is like all those people that had AstraZeneca, they probably get the second shot earlier if they were fine. I think people who weren't fine, I'm not sure if they're changing that, because I was reading something like I think there was a study in the UK, if you gave AstraZeneca and if you give like Pfizer as the other shot.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Remember before?
Yeah, so
your second shot will be different.
What do you mean?
Like if you got AstraZeneca first, you can get a different second dose, right?
No, they were studying it to see what happens. And you do get like a slight side effect in the sense of like fever, a bit more fever, or I don't know what it was. Like there is some form of side effect if you get the other one. So I don't know. I guess for people who had a reaction to the first shot, I'm pretty sure they can't give them again the second shot of AstraZeneca, so they'll have to give them the other one.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. And the side effects are like not like, I feel like
they weren't saying like not to do it. They're just saying there are some side effects, but these are
the good
normal side effects.
Yeah.
These are fine side effects.
The like if they had AstraZeneca first before like talking about Pfizer, I don't think many people would take. I don't think I would have taken it if they were like, yeah, like we have all these side effects from this vaccine. I'd be like, oh, we're gonna wait till like these side effects are gone.
Mm-hmm.
But like with Pfizer and Moderna, there's no side effects that they see, so it's like, okay, like might as well go with that one. Even my mom was saying like, don't get AstraZeneca. She's like, because she's like admitting patients with that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think as it went later, as it continued on, I guess they were saying the number was a bit higher than they needed it to be, like versus like a number of patients getting a blood clot or something.
Yeah.
It was a bit. First, it was like, maybe I think it's only like for Canada, but it was like 1 in a million. But then it's kept going down 100,000.
Oh, really?
Then they said like, wait, maybe it's. I don't know if this is correct. Was it 1 in 60,000?
Oh my!
So like that's why they changed their stance on it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like when we were like picking out our vaccines, we're like, I mean, I'm not eligible for AstraZeneca, but
yeah, we're not.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. But like my mom was just like, do not get this, because like she's seeing them come in with like bad issues.
Right.
And I'm like, oh wow, okay. But again, like Pfizer, Moderna, totally fine.
Well, yeah. Now they're for like even the immunization board or whatever it's called, that's in Canada, they said preferred Moderna.
Yeah, I saw that
Pfizer.
too. Yeah. So totally.
So that was the messaging that they're talking about. Like that doesn't sound good messaging, but it's like
I wonder what Trudeau's gonna do next to like shift the optics on this one. Because he was pushing, I don't think this is hard, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think this is his fault anyways, so.
I guess.
So I don't think that people are necessarily blaming him. I generally don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the immunization board, so these are the ones talking, right? These are the ones who approved.
Yeah.
And then saying which is preferred. So like that, I just can't connect that necessarily to Trudeau, because he's not the one making these decisions.
Right. He's just like telling us all.
Yeah, he's just listening to them.
True. You know what's crazy about like vaccinations and like inoculations, or like medicine in general? So like we're all freaking out about this this like COVID thing, right? But malaria medicine is like so bad for you, and nobody's talking about that. You know, like when they're like, oh, you should go to this area and take some malaria meds. I've listened to like, I think Terry even took it too, but I don't think she took it while she was, or maybe she did and she got like a little sick. But a lot of travelers that I listen to who go to those areas where they need malaria meds, they're like, those will put you out just as bad as malaria.
Yeah.
It's like so, but you know, it's like we're all complaining about like a little vaccine that's, you know.
True. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But a lot of those people don't travel to those areas.
Yeah, we were saying that it's like to us, like immunization's like, okay, well, we travel, so it's kind of a part of the territory, you know. But for people who are like, they don't really do that, yeah, I guess it just seems kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Actually, even normal things, like I was asking Tara about, like, she like cut herself on like a knife or something, and she's like, oh, I hope I don't need a tetanus shot. I'm like, don't you get those every 10 years? Like, I get them, like, booster shots, right? And then I guess not. So I'm like, oh, like, if most people don't usually get shots, like aside from the main ones that we all need, you know, like the elective ones they don't really get, and then it's like,
no, there is after a certain age you do need some booster shots.
I always get booster shots though, every 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean booster shots of like hepatitis B and stuff, of like old vaccines?
I'm not sure what they are.
Oh, okay, like shingles, something like that.
I don't know about shingles. Maybe like
there's a shingles
maybe
shot.
like tetanus too, right? I don't know. Like
no, that's every 10 years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like so it's called a booster shot. I literally every 10 years I'm like I'm counting down every 10 years. It's so great. I hate needles so much, but like it's basically bundled with all the other things you need to protect.
Yeah.
It's like tetanus is a part of that, so like it's a combined vaccine.
Yeah, right.
That just like boosts all the regular things that you're going to be exposed to in Canada. Yeah, craziness. But needless to say, like, vaccines are super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one more thing. I have this listed here. I thought this was weird. I saw this today. There's a looming workplace attrition post-COVID. So
what does that mean?
So attrition is when people quit. Okay. So there's a huge surge of people about to quit when COVID's done. They're studying it and they're like projecting it, because like all these people who prior to COVID, they were like burning out, but they didn't know they were burning out. And then because we had to pause because of COVID, like stay at home and all that stuff, they had like time to think. They were like interviewing all these people, and like these like moms were like, yeah, like I didn't even know I was like worked so hard until we were like forced to stop. And she's like, I don't think I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna like spend this time with my kids. We've changed our lifestyle. And then like what the article is saying is like, if you're a business owner, like be prepared to like fill a bunch of spots, because some people are just not coming back.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can see that too though. They call it a midlife gap year. So I guess what COVID is, it's their like midlife gap year.
Well, yeah, it would be for people who are making enough money that they don't need necessarily like, two people working.
As you were saying, those affluent
types. Yeah, that's what that seems like to me. Yeah, because
that's true. You're so lucky that you could just be like, you know what, I'm not going back to work, bro. Like what? That's so true. That is so privileged. Yeah,
that's what that seems like to me. Yeah, so.
And surprise, everyone in there looked affluent of a certain ethnicity.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, you're right. And the person was like...
like, if it's a single mom, or like, I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right.
How would that make any sense?
Fair. That's so funny.
You gotta have it. If you're probably like...
It's the privilege crisis, the first world problems.
Yeah. And you don't need two household incomes.
That's so true, because the first person that they interviewed, she was working as a executive assistant for her husband who owned the company.
Oh. What? Yeah, like...
So he's like, I'm just gonna stay home. Like, my husband will run the company.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. Damn, these privileged people. So lucky. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I love how you just debunked that. I was thinking like, oh no, there's gonna be a crazy quitting. But no.
I don't think so.
No, I agree with you. Now that we like talked about it, I'm like, yeah, it is just the affluent people who like can do that. But I mean, like, also COVID is like pretty, it's like, because it's forcing you to be more remote, you can work from like other places.
Yeah, but what I hear, a lot of people want to go back.
Yeah.
That even what they're saying is like, just waking up and then working here in the same four walls around you. It's also very not good.
It really depends on the type of person, I guess, because like I love it. Well, I mean, I'm not really here to like. I mean, I am, but like I also like go to Port Union, so it's like that's like a mental break to me.
I guess you are, yeah.
But
right.
I hate office life so bad. It's so
a lot of people like love that, so it's like they don't like.
That's so weird to me. I don't know.
Like, at least maybe in the beginning, yeah. Then it's like you're just you're not like you're not really getting ready for the day. You're just, you're in your same clothes, just work. And then
I guess,
it's
yeah.
like, I was reading, or like they were talking on the radio about that. It was like, people want to go back to work.
Really, eh? I feel like if you're like a meaningful, like Arvel runs a bakery, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I could see getting up for that, right? Or like my sister and mom are nurses, like I could see getting up for that because it's like, well, I got to save a patient. But like, if you can do something that you could do from home, it really seems like a waste of time to me. That's me though.
Yeah.
But I guess
Again, I think
like,
there's a portion of people like that. There's a portion of people like that. So
you know, actually, this is so interesting. In Tara's Tribe of Mentors book, they were saying that like one of the pieces of advice that they gave is like, know if you're like, try both, work for yourself and then work for a company and see which type of person you are. Cause like both are fine, but it's like your type of temperament is going to show you what you're going to be okay with, you know? Cause like I guess I'm more of like a entrepreneurial minded. So like when I was at work, it's like, why are we talking? Like, let's just get our job done.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a part of like employee life, like conversing. Like, yeah, this can wait till tomorrow. Let's just talk about like what you did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just places I've worked. I don't know.
I guess that's places you work. Because I'm more like, I'd rather get the work done, but I don't think I can do that stuff at home necessarily.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because like what, the
The
discipline?
work environment, I guess.
Like you need like a space. It's like there's a clear disconnect. It's like
Yeah.
that was one of the hardest things when we
It's
were
like
doing
going
remote.
to school. It's like easier to study at school versus at home.
True, because then a bunch of other stuff comes up. That's fair.
Or there's a lot of things to distract me.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. There's also like this weird thing with like when you're working in the office versus working remote. You can use excuses at the office, you know, like I gotta pick up my kid, or like I'm going on my lunch break. But there's no real division when you're remote. There's no real like lunch, because like your whole day is kind of like your lunch, you know, like it like okay, so basically when I've done the remote thing, it's like just DMs. So like you're just DMing each other back and forth. So like for the remainder of the day, you don't really know what the other person's doing. You know, you're just assuming they're working on their thing. But I guess if you're at work, it's like, no, they're in their office, they're doing something. Even if you're like hiding it, you know, you're like, I'm just scrolling Facebook right now. I'm saying like one of the benefits to going back like in person is like there's a physical, like there's a tangible distinction between work and not work.
Yeah.
But if it's your home, it's like, I don't like, because you can get like an email. Although I know some people get emails like at 9 o'clock at night and they'll answer it. Like, I mean, I'll do that, but that's because I'm more like freelance based. But like, if you're working for a company, as soon as it's 5, or maybe that's just again my temperament, but as soon as it's 5, I'm like, everything shuts off. I don't like let anything else in. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's most people.
Yeah, right. But that's also why you need like, because if it's like your computer, they're like, well, you could just check it. You know what I mean? Like there's even like subtle things like so like at like this place that I worked, it's like if you answered an email at night, it's like, oh, I saw you caught that, and you're kind of, you know, it's like a subconscious like positive, you know, because you're like, oh, you're working when you shouldn't be working. Yeah, I don't know, I was just going on a work tangent. Anyways, sorry. Okay, so but yeah, I guess according to you, people want to go back, but
yeah, I'm saying that there's portions, right? I don't know what is the exact percentage. Is it 50-50?
yeah, right, true. And the affluent people are the ones deciding that they don't need to go back.
Right.
All right, so Tesla's not taking Bitcoin anymore. Let's get into that. I'm so interested.
Well, yeah, as a tweet Elon put up, saying that they consume a lot of coal energy, or energy that uses coal, I guess, to create Bitcoin mining computers, right? So they, because of that, they took it off, that you can't buy a Tesla with Bitcoin.
So their excuse was the energy consumption. I say excuse because like this didn't seem like a good idea from the very beginning to me, as like from like a business standpoint, because Bitcoin is so volatile, meaning that like the price goes up and down so quickly that how can you set a price on a product? Because then it's like this week it's up, so I'll buy the Tesla. Tesla's going to lose money because they're getting a bunch of Bitcoin that's not worth anything. And then like if Elon puts out a tweet, like the stock price drops. So it's like, oh, that's super volatile. It's like it's hinging on like one person's opinion.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, then he later put up a tweet showing like a link to like the energy consumption that's happened in the last few months from it.
Yeah, but like really? Because like, okay. So even if there is energy
because he knew that was going to be talked about like that. So I think he was ready to put up that too. So,
but okay, so all right, well, even if you're gonna look at the,
because Tesla still owns Bitcoin.
Yeah, but it's because they're just hedging their bets. It's like let's just hold on to this in case it takes off. We'll sell it. You know, I think that's what everyone's doing. Everyone that's in Bitcoin, they're just holding on to it to see if it goes up or down. Like fundamentally, I'm like Bitcoin's flawed. It's not gonna work. Well, you can go listen to our old podcast and like it explains that. But like then when Wob was like, oh, but this guy made a lot of money off him. Like, yeah, you can make a lot of money if you're not rooting for Bitcoin. Like if you want Bitcoin to take over the earth, then you don't really want it to be volatile. You want it to be stable, right? Because like then it means that it's being used consistently. It's taken seriously. It's not just like hype. But if it's up and down so quickly, it's built off hype. There's no like utility there, you know? Yeah. And if you're using the argument of energy, right? Like creating the thing, but what about the other pieces in the supply chain for Tesla? Why aren't they addressing those things? It's like, I don't want to use rubber tires anymore because that's creating pollution.
Right.
So it's like, that's why I don't buy that argument, you know? What do you think? Like,
I have no idea.
okay.
I mean, why would they even allow it in the first place? So maybe they did see something, they didn't see it at the end.
Or maybe it was like,
because they would have known that it's fluctuating all the time. Why would they add that to it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. So it's like,
and it's a public
was
company,
it,
right?
or like Tesla bought the Bitcoin. They said they're going to allow people to buy Tesla, and it went up again. And then they also did sell some of the Bitcoin when they did the quarterly income, whatever.
That needs some, to boost their sales. Yeah. So that's going to need some regulation in the future. Like that's almost like insider trading. It's not insider trading, no, but it's like a form of it. Yeah, where it's like,
well, he got in trouble for like from the SOC. It's like security, whatever. It's like when he tweeted something out, like we might go private, that affected Tesla stock, right? Right. At that time, and he got like in trouble for that. In trouble for that from the SOC, so he couldn't do. They had to take him off from necessarily being CEO, like to a different, like where he cannot be related or connected to like financial stuff. Okay, yeah. So he can tweet whatever he wants now, something like that. Yeah.
But how do you know? So it's like, yeah, he's you know, it's like, all right, he's not a part of it. It's like, yeah, but they could still talk at the water cooler. Exactly. Like, hey, man, we want you to put this tweet out. Yeah, all right, cool. I truly think. All right, you know that like line that I came up with, like my life a video game? And Elon obviously thinks the same thing. He's like, my life is a simulation. I really think he believes he's in a video game and he's just messing with the system. Because everything he does is so evidently trolly. You know? Like, even when we watched the Dogecoin thing, the TMZ thing, and he was like, they're like, do you think it's the future of humanity? He's like, what do you think? And then like, because if you do that, you're not like saying your opinion. You're asking them, because at the end of the day, that person is deciding because they're the public. Yeah. Right? Because it's a publicly funded thing, right? So if you believe it is, like, he knows 2 steps ahead. It's like, if you believe it is, it will become it. Right. So why would I give you my opinion?
Yeah. Actually, even a tweet before this whole Bitcoin thing, he did tweet out because they were doing something with SpaceX and Dogecoin,
Yeah.
and then to fund, I guess, a mission to the moon or something. And then he also tweeted out like, should Tesla take Dogecoin?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
See,
Yeah. See, why did you do that?
Before the tweet of them removing
Because you're
Bitcoin.
trolling, right? I think he's like, I'm in a divine comedy, and I have a lot more power than most people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I didn't like. I was watching some of his the SNL thing that happened last week,
Okay.
and makes sense. I didn't realize that he said he has Asperger's.
Oh yeah, that thing.
So
yeah,
it kind
that's
of
interesting.
like he's on the like the spectrum, right? I guess
yeah,
so.
totally.
Makes sense.
So he sees it. He sees it for what it is. So like the thing about like people with Asperger's is like, well, it's like simplified.
There's a variety of it.
Yeah, but like if you make it simple, it's like they lack empathy. They can't. That's like one of the common issues with them. They can't like socialize that way. They don't like that. That's why they'll say things that are like true, but like, oh, I shouldn't have said that right there. So social cues is what they're missing, right? That's like one of the defining aspects of Asperger's.
Yeah.
They're still high functioning, but that's why they're a little off, because like they don't understand social dynamics. They have to like learn about social dynamics. Actually, I think
No, it's like him smoking marijuana. It's like he didn't realize. Wait.
exactly.
You're a CEO. That's gonna
exactly. See, he's not running off of like social cues. He's like, oh, this could actually look at me bad.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever. I could do whatever I want. That being said, that it all just feeds into the fact that I think he's just trolling on Earth. Like and I think he has everyone fooled.
Well, he's a big troll. Yeah, like you can see.
Yeah.
Especially if you follow his tweets. It's very funny though. It's just.
But it's weird. I don't want to like harp on this dude, but Lex Friedman?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lex Friedman is a huge fan of Elon Musk, right? But I think Elon Musk has him wrapped around his finger too. Because like Elon will say something. Because like if you're following two people the same, it'll show you in the thread what the two people said on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll see like Elon will troll something, and then Lex will like support it, but he doesn't realize that Elon's trolling that thing. So like right now Lex is doing this huge thing about like how cryptocurrency is the future, but I really don't believe that Elon thinks cryptocurrency is the future. I don't think so. I
don't know. I mean, he says he believes it.
He believes it to the point that it is possible it could be, but if you look at it logically, there are too many impedances on crypto becoming the money of the future, right? Like okay, so we went over this in the Bitcoin podcast. You can check that out. But basically, it's like, how are you going to go against financial institutions? And then how do you set the valuation? Because everything is based off of. It was initially based off of gold money, right? And then it became like fiat. Fiat means like fake money. It's backed on nothing.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do with like who's backing Bitcoin? People? Like I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know how even that thing works, because it's like all this. It's AI basically running this stuff, right? It's like. Even like, oh, more people have, or the value of Bitcoin is this much, but then they have to mine more.
Like you're mining for data that's hyper encrypted. But I'm like, okay, so, well, like, what value does encrypted data have? Gold has value. Countries have value. So like when they ran out of gold, so like in order to make more money, that's when they switched to fiat money. Fiat again means like backed by nothing.
Yeah.
So like that's how countries can be like trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. They don't actually have trillions and trillions of gold in the earth. It's just like they've made up this fake money backed by a country, right? Like my country's GDP is backing my money, right? So who's backing Bitcoin? Like fundamentally, who's backing Bitcoin? And not only that,
it's not meant to be by any government, right?
Okay, so then how is it going to be setting a price? How do you set a price for something that's backed by nothing?
Yeah.
That's why Bitcoin's going up and down with Elon's speculation or like his words, And then not to mention there are other forms of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Right. So it's fundamentally flawed. I don't think he believes in it. He believes it could make money, but it will never overtake the dollar. What do you think? Agree? Disagree?
Sure. Yeah. I guess I don't really understand the economy enough to, because there are some places, some countries where their money becomes unvaluable.
Yeah, because their GDP is nothing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a perfect example. So if a country, their money is not valuable, it's because they're contributing nothing that could be backed by anything, right? They're not producing anything that the world wants, right? So what is Bitcoin producing that people want?
Yeah. Right.
What is it backed
I don't
by?
know.
Literally
And I
nothing.
wonder if it's just going to come back down to where it was normally at after we go back to the normal ways again.
Yeah,
Is
true.
it just because
people
this
have
is
time on
all
their hands.
happening? Yeah, with everybody being at home and
Yeah, totally.
nothing else to do.
And even actually going back to the TMZ thing to hammer in the point of him believing that it's all just trolling, like he doesn't believe any of it, is he said like Bitcoin, the origin of Dogecoin is that it was a mock on Bitcoin. And then he's like, wouldn't it be funny if the mock became the real thing?
Exactly.
That's a troll move, bro. Like, so what, like, do you really believe in cryptocurrency? You know?
Yeah.
And then why did you even do a skit on SNL saying that it's all a hoax? If you really believed it, you wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But then you have like other people like Lex Friedman believing it's real. So they're like putting all these Bitcoin experts on here. And like I listened to them too because I was like, okay, I'll give it another shot. Let me listen to this Bitcoin thing. And every time I listen to it, I'm like, you don't attack the fundamental problem, which is what's it backed by? Money can't be backed by nothing. There are things, it's backed by the people. Okay, so it has no steady value. Like, but then they'll say like, yeah, but countries' money rise and falls all the time by $1 or $2, not by like 40%. You know what I mean? Like nothing crazy.
Yeah, unless like a recession, but even then.
But even then, it's like there's some safeguards in place. Like you know that the American dollar will be up today. It'll be down tomorrow by like $1 to $3. We're not talking like.
Well, I don't even think that.
Exactly. That was like me being like very generous. But like Bitcoin going up 40,000 this week and sell. And back down to normal. You can't.
It's
have money
becoming
like that.
it's acting more like a stock than
money. So it's fundamentally flawed. Yeah. I really like anybody that talks to me about Bitcoin. It just like cheeses me because I'm like, you just don't understand it. Like, no, it's gonna be the future. How? Like, you can make a lot of money off it. That's very true.
Right.
If you're like, I'm just gonna game this, I'm gonna be rich off Bitcoin. Totally, I agree with you. That's possible. But to say that Bitcoin's gonna take over regular money, I think you're deluded.
Until we start accepting Bitcoin, that's not happening yet, right?
I saw the credit card thing that like I think Wall was talking about. He's like certain banks, they have like a crypto credit card. So you use the credit card to pay for crypto and then it converts to real money on your end.
Okay.
So basically it's like if you think about it, it's similar to, sorry if you hear Athena going off, there's dogs in the hallway. It's similar to, you know, when you go to a different country and then you use your credit card and then it converts that your money into that credit and then it gives you like an exchange rate fee. It's basically that. It's like an exchange rate credit card for crypto.
Okay.
Like they're trying to get into it. Like I see, like when Wob's like, yeah, but why are they doing it? They're hedging their bets.
Everybody can hedge their bets. They don't know if it's going to be successful. They just want to be in the game in case it is.
Whatever, that credit card's gone now. Like we have millions of other credit cards that are backed by money.
That's true.
So just because they're doing it, it doesn't mean that they believe in it. They're just like, okay, we can make more money off this.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the bank's not holding crypto. The bank's converting your money into crypto. Like your crypto purchase is getting converted to real money through the bank. So at the end of the day, we're still relying on real money.
Yeah, of course.
See what I'm saying? It's like, dude, I don't get it. I get how in a different planet it can be used. Like how he's like, oh, crypto will be the money of Mars. Yeah, because it's not backed by a country. But when you were saying that thing about China going to Mars, and then like what happens if they go to like the moon of Jupiter or something,
Yeah.
and then they send those resources back to Earth because it was like vapors or something. It could be like gas, right?
Natural gas, I think it was.
Yeah. So if you could, so you'll have like China mining colonies there, and they'll be sending their thing back. But if that becomes the case, then you're still going to be dealing with that country's money, because it's like it's like if we discovered a new island here, it's like the first one there who colonized it will set the price, you know. That's why the space race is so fascinating, because it's like who's going to govern space. Actually, that's an interesting topic. I didn't even have it on there, but what do you think, like space? You've been following
Space.
it, like the China landing thing.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah, the China's rover landed. So they're the second country outside of the U.S. to land.
And it was so funny because you were showing me that video before about like India in space, and I was like, I literally thought every country had a space force, like a space.
No. There's a lot of money to be.
I didn't even think about that.
Time and money, kind of energy to do all that, right?
So who's in it? It's NASA, America, India, Russia, China,
Japan.
Yeah. So 5 countries. That's it.
Saudi Arabia sent, I think, a satellite.
Okay, so 6. So they have a space force as well.
Yeah, I think it'll get more and more as they have their own agencies, right?
Right. Okay.
But we're currently, like, at least for the Mars thing, I think those are the 6.
Okay, so those 6 have some viability in ruling the space, like international space.
Right. At least Mars
space.
at the moment. Yeah.
No, but like if you have a way to get to space,
right,
those 6 countries
are
the only ones that can have like space stations, right? And so those are going to be the 6 currencies we're going to be looking at in the future. But for real though, because they're the ones who are going to be able to mine things and like send things back,
right.
Or create like space commerce.
Yeah.
So, actually, going back to Bitcoin, if you look at those 6 countries, which one of those 6 countries is backing Bitcoin? None of them. They're backing their own dollar.
Yeah.
Again, fundamentally flawed. I don't get it. Anything else about space?
Space, a lot of interesting things, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out I don't know what China's rover, where it landed, what particularly,
or if it landed.
I like what they said in the video, where it was like, oh, we're the first country on the first mission to land successfully. I guess.
Oh yeah, true.
It was like, because America probably failed a couple times, totally. So it's like,
this is the might of the motherland. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's like, you learn from the failures of others to make it work. But that's fine. But
that's just, you always have to position your country as the best.
Exactly. Yeah, there's ways to do that, but just the way you word it out, I guess.
Yeah, it's clever. Gas shortage. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, gas shortage.
You told me you were gonna tell me all about it.
Yeah, so I was tweeting about it. It was funny because Tesla owners don't have to worry about that stuff.
Oh yeah, true.
But
that made me want to get a Tesla. I was like, well, I mean, I always want to get a Tesla, but I was like, the viability's so up there. The gas was so expensive, dude. It was like $127.
Right.
Like,
so that area, there's like I don't know, I forgot how long that pipeline is.
Okay.
That pipeline for that company, I think it's called Colonial, is the name of the company.
Wow. All right.
And basically they had a ransomware attack.
What?
From Russian hackers.
Wow.
But not, Biden said they're not from the Russian government, but they're Russian people that did a ransomware attack on that. So I think they paid them.
Whoa.
I think the Colonial company, pipeline company, paid them.
Yeah.
To get back the control of their pipeline. So that's what caused a whole shutdown of couldn't get the gas out to so many places in that pipeline.
Oh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah, so that's why it's they had that huge gas shortage, and they're trying to. It's gonna take maybe a couple of weeks or so to bring it back to normal again, but they're Biden. I was listening to Biden's talk about it. They're gonna bypass some of these restrictions to make it go a bit faster, so they will bring in more crude oil and this, that, whatever,
Wow.
to kind of alleviate this 2 weeks,
Yeah,
within
totally.
this 2 weeks to bring it back to normal.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
the
for
pipe,
sure.
it's going to take some time, but that's what he was saying. So that was what was the cause of the
Wow.
the gas shortage.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
was wondering what it was. I was like, why is everyone freaking out, bro?
Yeah, it was. I didn't know that too. I was like,
Dude,
oh, it's
I
a
was in,
reason.
I was in Uxbridge like yesterday. We were visiting the
Yeah.
set of Schitt's Creek, and there were people there with like the picture you showed me of like, or like those videos you showed me of like people filling up their back seat
Yeah.
with like those canisters
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
gas
yeah, yeah.
holders. I saw people doing that. I was like, whoa, this is intense. It's actually like happening.
Right. But we have no issue with that over here. The pipeline doesn't
Oh.
connect to us.
So then why are people freaking out?
I don't know.
Maybe they just saw the oh, gas gonna go up.
Maybe.
Herd mentality again. Elon gonna like troll on them.
Right. Yeah. So like that's what that was happening over there. It's like even Biden said don't like hoard because that's gonna cause the problem even more. Right.
Right.
Just
totally.
take what you need
Yeah.
and move on. Like
Yeah.
let the next guy get his gas. Right. It's like if you're taking more and that's gonna cause more longer of an
more
issue.
requirements.
More
for the
and more of an
gas,
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll need more gas to fill that like little pocket.
and
that
then
you missed.
Biden also said to like gas companies or like the gas stations to
Yeah.
not raise the price.
Not raise the price.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because if you're gonna price gouge it,
Right. Okay. True.
I think some people might.
So that's only in America right now.
Yeah, it's only in America.
So why is everyone freaking out? Honestly, we're like the little brother of America.
I don't know if nobody understands it. I guess, but the pipeline is only in America.
They just see that. They just see the.
Like I
headline.
saw where the pipeline is. Like it's on the East Coast side, but it doesn't affect us.
Wow.
It's not connected to us.
So you're just saying gas is just expensive on the regular over here?
Probably.
Oh, okay. But like, it's so weird, like herd mentality, like watching people like filling up canisters and canisters, or maybe they were doing it for like positive means. Who knows? You know. And I was just like associating it because I've seen memes of other people like filling up.
Right.
their
Yeah.
canisters,
I don't
but,
know
like,
how it is in Uxbridge. Maybe they're like distance from gas stations. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. All right. Sure. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I'll give him benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When I saw it, I was like, what? Is this what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's mainly in America.
Oh,
Like
okay.
in the southern East Coast. Yeah, there's a
Wow, they're
pipeline.
really attacking, eh? Like remember that thing I was saying a long time ago? It's also in Jack Ryan, like the war of economics.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
to have like hackers, like although they're not associated with the government, they're positively helping Russia.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, that's the real war now. Has nothing to do with like bombs. I mean, obviously there's still bombs going on in like certain areas, but like the more civilized war is like a war of
Yeah.
economics.
So like when they asked Biden if they did you know they paid the ransom,
Oh,
and he
okay.
said I have no comment.
Oh, wow.
So
How's
did
Biden
they
doing? We haven't heard anything.
I mean I think he's doing fine.
Okay, just back to same old, same old. Like it's not like some craziness like Trump.
No,
Yeah.
I think like
It's like,
normalcy. I
yeah, like
guess.
regular stuff. It's funny we were saying like as COVID's coming to a close.
Well, everyone's blaming Biden on the
Gas thing.
on the gas thing. That became the meme
but
too,
it's
right?
like, but it had nothing to
But-
do with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's silly. But so it's weird that now that we're coming out of the whole COVID thing, like things are starting to happen again, like the war.
Mm-hmm. Back in Israel,
yeah.
Palestine. Yeah. Back to their normal ways that
Yeah.
they used to be.
Even though people are like, "Oh, this is so horrendous," it's like I remember this happening when we were kids. You know, I mean, like war is always
There's times it
atrocious.
escalates to a certain point and then it reduces again. So now it's becoming escalated again. I think it's just the timing near the end of Ramadan, and that's when
Yeah.
this all started.
Did you find out why it started? Was it the terrorist thing, or was that just like some?
No, I don't
fake
think there was
news that
any
they said?
terrorist
Okay,
thing.
so
But they called them terrorists who were causing the issue. Like Israel calls those people Hamas terrorists.
Oh,
right?
okay,
So
okay.
it's like that's their justification to continue it.
Oh, okay.
It's been always going on and
But
off, right?
I remember seeing those like interceptor missiles a long time ago, and I was like, wow, this is the future. Like we were like probably grade 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing like when they would shoot the missiles, they'd have interceptors that would hit the missiles and blow up in the sky.
Yeah. I don't know like who shot the missile first. I'm not sure about that because I think it was like them raiding that mosque. Then was it that I don't like the Hamas shot warning shots with the warning rockets or whatever, and then that triggered
Like, oh, you're
them to attack
something?
back, and then it's like
wow.
in the like general world public, it seems like Israel is looking as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right now.
True. And that Andrew Yang thing, like
Andrew Yang tweet, but it's not just like I even read Gal Gadot's tweet. She was trying to be, she got backlash too, but she is from Israel, right? So
yeah, totally.
And hers was like in the neutral in the sense, like worried for both sides, right?
Yeah,
she has family there, and
yeah, totally. You should.
But then it's like again, I was hearing yesterday. It's like, like I think her makes sense to make a statement. But then there was the people attacking her because he's like, no, you should be picking Palestinian side,
Yeah,
like kind of like that.
But it's like, but
like
that's not my
she's
people.
like the representationist Wonder Woman figure, right?
Right.
So it's like, anyway. But then there's other people not talking about it. But then it's like they're blaming. It's like, why are these celebrities not talking about it? I was like, but why does everybody have to talk about it if they don't know anything about it?
Yeah,
it's not
totally. Yeah, and you don't want to like step in the wrong thing, like what Andrew Yang did, right? He's like trying to support his base, and he's like, ooh, whoops,
yeah. There was like what his tweet was very one-sided.
Yeah.
It wasn't very neutral.
Yeah,
and that caused another problem for him.
It's weird. I saw this before, but it's weird that in times of crisis we look to celebrities for the answer.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
Like, what do you mean? Like, you're just a human. Yeah. You have no like foreign policy understanding, or you see when they are saying like they want Rock to run for president, and then Rock was like, "If you guys are serious, I'll run." I was like, "Oh my god, please." America will be like an ultra joke. Yeah. I mean, it's cool if The Rock wins. That's awesome. But
I mean, yeah, there's sometimes there's a few celebrities that were running. So there was, I think for governor in California, Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
But
cool.
she's not doing that well.
Okay. Makes sense.
And then Matthew McConaughey in Texas.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. And people might, if he is running, I think.
Down there.
The thing is, sometimes if you're fed up with the normal,
yeah, you'll just do whatever.
You'll pick. That's what they probably picked Trump. They were fed up with the normalcy.
I think you made a good point about foreign policy with the Andrew Yang thing. You're like, you're not really well versed in foreign policy, so like this isn't really a surprise. And I was like, yeah, I could see that actually. I could see like. Like don't like with the celebrities thing. Yeah. They might like overstep accidentally. They don't even know because like. Yeah, when you're dealing with like foreign things, that's why like when people are like, "Oh, the government's evil," whatever, I'm just like, I am assuming you know what's going on. Like you're privy to information that I don't have. So for me to like armchair quarterback this for a politician makes no sense. Like we're not getting all of the information that they're receiving. They're only giving us information that they've deemed like not classified.
Public. Yeah.
I think that's important for people to realize, it's like, yeah, we can talk about like governance on our own level, like what we see day to day. But once you like get out into like international territory, like you don't even know. Yeah. Like, we don't even know what's going on.
And even that, I doubt people even know where Gaza is comparative to the whole of Israel.
Egypt, bro.
Yeah. So it's like,
oh, there's a Gaza Strip in Egypt. So like,
right.
Is there Gaza?
I don't know.
Gaza, yeah, in Egypt.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, there's Gaza in is all
I don't think of Giza.
Maybe
Giza. Okay, Giza, yeah. But
so
still,
it's like,
yeah,
it's like when I
don't know,
it's always good to, even when we read about these things, it's always good to even look up where it is, what's happening, and even like how like the layout of the land looks like, right?
Yeah,
so it's
totally,
like maybe we don't think like that.
Yeah, because when you showed me the map, it's like it's such a tiny stretch of land that they're fighting over, and it's like, wow, all right. Yeah. Those are weird times, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, they've got their people, Israelis, all fully vaccinated, so it's like they're going back
Yeah,
to
that's what I mean. Like they're like, all right, we're all vaccinated, so let's start this machine back up again. I mean that sounds callous, but it's like at the same time we don't know what's going on. So
yeah.
I mean, we can empathize with lives being lost, but this is foreign politics. Like I think at the same time people forgetting that it's like everyone's focusing on like people, right? They're like, oh, the lives lost. But it's like at the end of the day, it just shows you again that you're powerless. It's like what I was saying in the beginning of COVID. It's like if they just want to shut everything down, they can. You know, we just believe we have some sort of power,
Right.
You know, like how are those anti-mask protesters doing? Probably not well.
Well, they're wearing masks now
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
to mask against people. They don't want the shedding of the vaccine
onto them.
proteins.
Yeah.
Onto them. So they're going to wear masks.
That shows,
so which is fine.
That
I
shows
don't mind.
just how dumb they are. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'm an anti-masker, but I'm going to put on a mask now because I don't want you to affect me. It's like, so the real genius was the marketer that was like, okay, if we just make them think this, we can get them to do that.
Well, yeah, if they're now they're wearing masks, then that's fine.
Yeah,
that's great.
They just send out like memes. It's like a meme war, bro. Like they were saying that on the your Undivided Attention podcast, like the Russian troll farms, and then we're creating our own memes like to combat them. So it's probably somebody's like, oh, let's just make up like the shedding of the vaccine proteins, bro. And they're like, oh my god, I gotta mask up now. It's like, good, we got them to do what they wanted. Which ties back into Elon Musk, sheep. Like he's just playing with the sheep. Yeah, I saw. So dumb to me. I just don't understand. All right, so there's this cult called Happy Science in Japan.
Okay.
I know someone in the cult. If you listen to this podcast, sucks to be you, or sucks that you believe in. I apologize. It just rubs me the wrong way. It's like, can you not see it? But if you listen to this podcast, great, because then you're listening and you're like, okay, I should reevaluate my decisions. So this guy sent me books. All right. And he's like, oh, I see you're into Zen. Let me send you some books on Zen. I'm like, dude, I love Zen. All right, cool. So then I've read like real spiritual teachings on Zen, like real, like from all the best people. So this guy, this Happy Science guy, he wrote a book on Zen. And then I was like, oh, this is all just like fake stuff, has nothing to do with Zen. I messaged the guy that. He's like, no, you just don't understand. His enlightenment supersedes every single person that came before him. And I'm like, right.
That's, yeah.
And I'm like, but it has nothing to do with any Zen tenets. He's like, you just don't understand the level of Zen that he's creating. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, I don't know how people fall into that, and I don't know, some people need a godly figure or
I know.
something. That's what that is.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like if your life is in so much turmoil, you're going to like attach to anything that tells you I can pull you out of this.
Yeah, he may have helped change your life. And that's that connection that starts.
But like you gotta call a spade at that point. You know, it's like, okay, that's you helped me at this point. I can move on now.
Yeah.
You know,
but you have to know that there's just human. They're nothing different than us.
Totally. And like so he had this like video of him like singing a song.
Okay.
And it was like a chant about how COVID cannot affect me because the light of the glory of the Savior is upon me. The Savior is the Happy Science leader.
Okay.
So then my cousin sends me a picture, because we both follow this guy. He sends me a picture and he's like, Happy Science founder claims that he can cure COVID for a fee. I'm like, you know vaccines are free, right? Like, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're going to chant away. This is also the same guy that posted this video of like chanting mantra. He's like, if you listen to this, the vibration will protect you from COVID. I'm like, yeah, it's good luck with that, bro.
Yeah, just imagine that.
How?
Just imagine that the virus is like, oh, the chant, it's affecting me. I don't want to go.
It's the vibration.
That doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense. It's the vibration. But like, how could you not see the fee part for a fee?
True. Yeah.
Like that already tells you that there's something going on.
Yeah.
And then, but it's not like you kind of believe it. It's like you full on believe it if you're singing the song in an Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you really believe this thing, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a chant or
it was the one he posted. The first video was a chant. This one was a song, like a melody and like about how like COVID can affect us because the
Like in English?
Savior's upon us. Something like that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like crazy. Dude, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe people like this exist. It's like, yeah.
They exist everywhere.
But it's just, again, it goes back to the Elon Musk simulation thing. Like, he probably sees this and he's like, these people are really dumb. Okay, I could just say this and then they're gonna believe this.
That reminds me.
Oh yeah. All right. What are you gonna say?
Like the show, The Serpent.
Okay.
And,
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know how people fall for this guy. Like, it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they believe he's like so smart and all these sort of things,
Totally.
and then like, but he's like a full-on killer.
Yeah.
He actually
It's the
kills
charisma.
people. Yeah, it's he has that thing, and people fall for that.
Yeah.
And that's who he takes advantage of.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Like he could have been a cult leader.
Yeah. No, totally. I agree with you. Charisma is a crazy thing, but it's also like false charisma. You know.
Mm-hmm.
We won't name any names, but remember the charismatic leader that I once knew, and then I remember like he came in, and then you were like, "What's wrong with this guy? He's so insecure. He's like shouting," and I'm like, "Oh." Like looking back now, it's like, oh yeah, that false bravado. It was just false bravado.
Yeah.
You know, like let me project, be the center of attention in the room because I myself am so insecure to not be the center.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you saw it because you weren't like around it.
Yeah. No.
And then as soon as you saw it, you were like, oh, this guy's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, so I was going to go back to the Elon thing. So this is how you know he's got like people in the bag.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So there's a meme that I saw where it's like, Bill Gates, I want to increase vaccines.
Oh yeah.
And, right? And then the people are like, oh no, you're going to put microchips in the vaccines. And then Elon Musk, I'm literally going to put a microchip in your brain. People are like, that's cool. Like, oh my God. Like, okay, we're all afraid of vaccines.
Somehow the Bill Gates is the bad guy.
Why? Like, come on. But you see the Epstein thing? That's kind of messed up, though.
Yeah,
like,
I heard the rumors of that prior to the news article coming out.
Really? And then that's why she divorced him? I don't know.
Well, we don't know that situation. We don't know the actual truth of it, but that was what someone that she was talking to said.
Oh.
That's where that rumor started from.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's
Melinda Gates?
Yeah. No. She was talking to a friend. A friend. I don't know if it's a friend of a friend or not, but it was somebody of that.
It was like, oh yeah, Epstein and
that's how that.
Oh really?
That's how that started.
Crazy.
So it's not necessarily from her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but see what I mean? Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, you've conned all these people to be like, maybe he's like, no, the smarter thing to do is tell them we're doing something. Like, instead of being like, oh, I'm going to hide microchips in your vaccines, it's like, no, I'm going to implant a microchip into you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, maybe he understands the simulation better than everyone else.
Right. Maybe. Yeah, of course.
Right. Crazy. All right. Final thing. UFC. I feel like now that the crowds are back, things are just getting crazy. Like the Chris Weidman thing that I showed you where you did the kick, because the crowds just came back. This is their second show.
Is Florida again?
No, they're in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So this is their second or third. I think it's their second show with the crowd back. And within those two shows, within those two crazy pay-per-views, you've had like bones breaking. Like, what is going on? You know, like that's never happened before. You know, like remember the Weidman kick?
I wonder if it's like the hype of the audience.
I was gonna say, I think like when there was no loud audience, people were playing it safer.
Yeah.
But then the adrenaline rush when you hear everyone chanting, you're going hard in the paint. So. You know. Yeah. Like, how did that guy break his arm yesterday? Like, snap the top of it. It wasn't even a hyperextension at the elbow. The tricep.
Yeah.
Snapped.
Oh my God.
And why didn't you tap earlier, bro? Like, what is going on? Or even, remember Tony Ferguson? He had that heel hook in, and then he cranked it, broke it. Tony screaming agony. He's like, well, it's already broken. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Oh my God.
This is like insanity. I think if you break someone's bone, you need to stop it. Like with the heel hook thing, I guess maybe the ref didn't know how badly a heel hook is, because he was still moving it. So apparently, even though you break your your tendon, you could still move it in a certain plane. So like up and down, because like he was, and plus the adrenaline. So like he was still using it to push off the cage, like fight against, right? But like when the third round started, you could see him like hobbling. Like he did not have, he did not have anything to put on that leg.
It's, well, I guess you heard it. Was it the ref?
No, the ref didn't hear it, but the guy who did it to him, he heard it.
Oh.
And he said that they both heard it and they looked at each other and they kept fighting.
Oh.
Yeah. Like Tony, like he did the heel hook, popped the Achilles tendon. Tony screamed in agony and he looks at him and then Tony's like, nothing happened. And they just kept fighting.
Oh my God.
Well, Tony's like crazy like that. Like, remember he's the same guy that had like the hyperextension on the arm bar? Oh, dude, that's crazy. Like, I just feel like I get it, go out on your shield, but dude, that is a nasty injury. Like, you might not ever be able to like fight again. Well, he's also 38, so he shouldn't fight anymore. But like, if you rip all of the tendons in your leg, like, what was the point? You know?
Yeah. Even the guy that was.
But you didn't want to tap,
There was a lot of that yesterday. That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people just going hard. Like the one guy who got punched in the face and then the delayed knockout.
Yeah.
That was, but although the guy who commented on that post did, like, it made sense to me. He's like, he could have been concussed going into the fight. So like when he took all that damage, he just got concussed again.
Right.
So it wasn't a knockout. It's just like you got concussed. So like the punch concussed you, and you were trying to fight it off, and then you got dizzy, and that's why you fell.
Yeah, I like when I saw him like
stumble back,
hit the fence, and then fall. The guy still hit his head again.
Oh my God, no!
That's just like,
But the guy didn't really want to. You saw like a couple seconds, like, do I need to hit this?
And because the ref didn't stop it yet. I guess it's like kind of like.
I think they were all shocked. Like, why did you just fall?
Yeah. I think the ref should have stopped it right there. Like, you don't fall like that.
Yeah, you don't fall. Like, as soon as you fall back, it's like, no, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
At the end of the fight, when he came to, I saw them like talking, and then the guy that knocked him out, he was asking him like, what happened? Because he was so pissed. He's like, what? Why did it get stopped? And then the guy that knocked him out was like, no, he was like motioning like you stumbled back.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
it just like, it shows me like you don't play UFC, bro. Like, that is not a game. And I couldn't imagine like trainings, like, because I've always wanted to go to the UFC just to like, it'd be cool to like have a fighter in there, but like I don't know what it would be like. Like, how could you, like, if you train this guy, you see him all the time, and then you just watch him getting worked in there, like Brian T. City with Henry Gracie. Imagine seeing like your like basically brother just getting wrecked.
Yeah.
You're like, you gotta throw in the towel, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for you. Yeah. Crazy. But we're gonna keep watching because it's pretty awesome. You know what it is? It's like science, You're like, what works? Like when I watch UFC, I'm like, what moves really work?
Right. Okay.
So it's like a science experiment. But like when you breaking limbs, like, we don't need that, bro. Just tap. Come on.
Yeah, I think it must have been the audience, the adrenaline. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think I've seen that many happen like that.
Back to back.
Yeah.
As soon as the audience came back, it's like, all right, we're gonna go balls to the wall.
Yeah. I think it must be something to do with that.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that's different now.
And you know what's sad too? They were saying this, the announcement people, a new time has arrived. So like all the people, like Jacare, who broke his arm, Tony, who got worked, these are the old demons. Like, these are all the people that everyone was scared of back in the day. But now they're all like 38, 40. So like the young lions that are coming up are like way more hungry. We have a new pack of like monsters coming, you know? Like, and I feel like the old monsters are gone. I think like Khabib ended it. He was like the last of the monsters. Yeah. Because Tony and Khabib were supposed to fight, like that was their big rivalry, but it never happened.
Right.
So like I think like, yeah, it's done. Like even Conor got worked, bro. Like what? Yeah. Anyways, new time. upon us. Any final thoughts, Vish?
Yeah, stock up on that gas. I don't know.
Go get the vaccine.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, sure.
Next time you listen to this, we'll both be vaccinated. I was gonna say let's
With
do
the one shot.
With the one shot, yeah. I was gonna say let's do the podcast in the morning, like on the Saturday before the vaccine. But then I was like, nah, let's get in what like, especially if I get sick. But I'm like kind of worried that we won't be able to do the podcast. Like, what if I get sick and then I'm like, oh, I can't like. But that might be an interesting podcast, you know? We're like doing it. I'm like, dude, I feel so bad.
Right. Yeah.
But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Till next time. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.
Bye. All right. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors: Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.